Get her.
Get her.
Get her. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I'm supposed to know what I'm supposed to plug right now. Do I have it written down? Okay, I think I have it written down. Where is it in front of me? The website. You guys are supposed to go to our website at chicksontheright.com. Check that out and check out all the awesome things there. chicksontheright.com. Do that. Bookmark it. Go there daily. You should be going there every single day.
Yeah, why aren't you doing that?
Yeah. What's wrong
Talking
with
to
you?
you.
What are you
Looking right at
doing?
you.
What are you doing, everybody?
Hope everybody had a good weekend. Thank you for those of you who have already tuned in to our deep dive that was released on Saturday, all about menopause. So glad to see that so many of you relate.
Itchy ears and whatnot from menopause. Mhm.
So yeah, that has taken off a bit more than I expected, but it's because it's relatable, right? It's relatable.
Yeah. I am shocked by that too.
Yeah. It's relatable. And this week's deep dive that will also be released on Saturday will also be relatable.
You think?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, because I'm going to be just breaking down my dysfunctional family. So we're all going to sit on the couch and we're going to chat about that a bit.
Get your wine ready. Get your wine ready.
Yes. Or vodka, whatever. Or
whatever
coffee.
That's right.
Whatever you guys got on hand.
All right. So lots of stuff to get to. Reminder quickly to everybody, there will be no show tomorrow. So I'll remind you again at the end of the show, but there won't be a show tomorrow because I will be driving to a place. She's going to be flying to a place.
That's right.
We're going to meet up at said place.
Yeah.
So there will not be a show tomorrow, but there will be lots and lots of stuff going on the rest of the week. So Wednesday morning show will be normal. Then we'll be tailgating and kind of watching the debate together with you guys. Live streaming
together. We're going to be together in the same place, you guys, this whole week. It's going to be lit, as the kids would say. So excited. I get to see you in person. It's so exciting, you guys. Isn't it fun when we're together? So fun. Yeah.
So fun. And then Thursday morning, regular show, Friday morning, regular show. It's just tomorrow that's going to be worked. So,
right.
That's right. Okay. Lots of stuff to get to before we even begin to get into like the debate preview and all that stuff. So today at 11 o'clock a.m. was supposed to be Trump's big press conference where he was going to read a report that exonerated him completely from these Georgia charges. That is not happening. So he has canceled that, presumably upon the advice of his counsel. But that's not going to happen. And that's probably a good thing. I mean, I think it was a terrible idea to begin with. So I'm glad for him that he's not doing it because that just seemed like a really, really bad idea. So that's not happening. Yeah. So you guys have a free hour or whatever today. You don't have to watch TV at 11 o'clock today.
You could have lunch instead.
That's right. Also, very upset with Elon Musk today, and a lot of people are, and that is because Elon has announced, and I don't know when this takes effect, but it is going to happen. He is removing the block function from Twitter. So no more can you block people who are harassing you or stalking you or bots. You can't block anybody from Twitter anymore. So if you're sick and tired of somebody and you just want to hit the block button so you don't have to see their crap, you can't do that effective at such time as he chooses.
Are people grandfathered in?
Nope. This is just a sweeping change. This is it doesn't matter if you're verified or not.
No, but I'm asking, like, say if you've already blocked somebody, does it unblock them?
Probably will. I'm sure that once it takes effect, anybody that's ever been blocked by anybody will be unblocked. Yeah.
Interesting. That's very interesting to me.
Yeah. It's not good. Now, the mute button is still going to be a thing. So that means you can still when you mute somebody, it just means you don't see their comments directed at you or you don't see them in your mentions, but they still have access to your information. They still have access to your tweets. They can still look at, retweet, do all the things. You just won't see it. So it's different than a block. It's still something, I guess, but it's not, you don't have the ability to stop people from seeing your stuff anymore.
There's no such thing on Twitter as being private?
You can make your account only viewable to people who follow you.
Okay.
So you
So
can
there
do
is
that.
in essence such a thing as being somewhat private, kind of like on Instagram, you can be private as
Right. But if
opposed to
there's
being
no way of blocking somebody, then all they have to do is follow you to see your stuff.
right, right, right.
So
Okay.
there really is no way to be
There is
private.
no way to do okay. Yeah. So they can anybody can follow you.
Right.
Okay.
You
All
can't
right.
stop them now.
You
And
can't
so,
stop them.
I mean, it's
Okay.
just I just don't
Yeah.
like it. I don't
So
like that
you're
at all.
basically if you're on Twitter, anybody is able to stalk or harass or whatever you at this point.
Yeah, you can turn off your ability to see it, but they can still do it. They can still see your stuff. They can still retweet it. They can do
Yep.
all the things.
Okay.
So people are
All right.
furious, and one of the people that are that's furious is James Woods, who immediately wrote back. A lot of people wrote back and said, "Elon, this is like a terrible, horrible idea. This is awful." So Elon said back to him, James Woods, who is like the dearest man, right? Like he does
Mhm.
so much good. He's been such a positive force
Right.
on Twitter. He wrote back to James Woods and was just like, well, then just get off this app. I mean, essentially, he was just a total jerk to him. And then he blocked him. So Elon was
Elon
like, take
wait,
that.
Elon blocked James Woods
Right.
after what?
And then he was gloating about it. He was like, I'm having so much fun blocking people who are mad that I'm taking the block feature away. And so I don't know what's gotten into him, but like Elon is on a weird.
Okay, so wait. So will he still be able to block people?
I
He
don't
won't
think
be able.
so. I don't
Okay,
think
so he's
so.
blocking people right now with the notion that he won't be able to block them at some point.
I guess. It's
Okay.
super weird. It's just super,
So
super
he's just
weird.
being very neener right now.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I don't know what's gotten into him. I just think it's a bad move, like
He's
on
off
every
he's
possible
off his
layer.
meds. He's completely off his meds right now. Okay,
I
that's
mean,
not yeah, it's childish. It is a little
yeah, it
childish.
just is. I don't He's
Mhm.
so impulsive, and so this is just an example of sort of that impulsiveness.
Impulsivity, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, so that's a thing
Okay.
that's happening.
Alright, so that's not okay because
I know. I
yeah,
don't like it.
it's not okay. Yeah, because there's some people listen, I get it, like, I understand the notion behind you gotta be able to deal with some punches when you're out on social media, I get that, I mean, I totally get it, we deal with punches too, but then there at some point, you just don't like to take abuse.
Right,
I
exactly.
mean, it's you because we've also dealt with that too, you just are like, enough is freaking enough."
Mhm.
So now you're gonna go away. Bye-bye. Because we deal with
Yeah.
trolls in here all the time too. And it's just like at some point you're just like, I don't want to deal with your crap. So bye.
I did see a rumor, and I don't know if this is true, but I saw some people speculating that even if he wants to do this, he's not going to be able to because apparently, if you want to have your app on Apple or Android or Google Play or whatever that similar one is,
Mhm.
you have to have a method for people to block other people. And so if that's true, and again, I don't know if that's true, but if that's true that Apple and Google would both say you can't have your app on our store, on our platform if you don't have
Right.
for people to block others, then I would think that that would be a disincentive for him to remove that feature because
Yeah.
he needs them to be on those platforms. So I don't
Mhm.
know if that's true or not. I kind of hope it is true because then he won't be able to do this because I think it's a terrible idea to begin with. But
Yeah.
anyway, we'll see.
It's just
We
kind of
will
weird.
see.
Don't fix something that's not broken, you know?
Right. Like, don't change the name to X either. That was also a
Yeah.
really dumbass move.
It's really stupid.
So dumb.
Mhm.
What's not dumb is managing your money and managing risk. And the best company to do that for you is Bulwark Capital, and specifically our friend Zach Abraham, who knows everything there is to know about how to appropriately manage risk in financial portfolios, particularly for people who are nearing and or in retirement. So right now, market is crazy. And if you've heard any of our deep dives with Zach about the financial industry as a whole, you know how borked everything is right now. And so Bulwark Capital is really, 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 really good at actively managing risk. They're not just going to dump all your money into an age appropriate portfolio. They are really daily looking at market conditions and assessing where your money needs to be. So it's fantastic. You can learn more about them at knowyourriskradio.com, or you can visit there or call for a free copy of Zach's Common Sense Investing Guide. It's 866-779-RISK. Investment advisory services are offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Highly, highly recommend Zach at Bulwark Capital. Check him out at knowyourriskradio.com. All right. Other interesting news of note. I'm going to share my screen because do you remember the tan mom?
Yes, I do remember the tan. Oh my gosh, yes.
Tan mom is going to try to primary Rick Scott in Florida. It's just what
our world,
right?
Is that a recent picture of her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
She's looking good and healthy, y'all.
Well, and the fact that she's running as a Republican on a platform that will focus on LGBTQ plus equality and bringing diversity back into the classrooms, like what is even going on in her brain? That makes no sense.
It's been cooked a little, as we all know. So, okay. Seriously, can we just not? Can we not?
I know, but that's a thing that's happening.
We can do better we can do a little bit better as a party, can't we?
Can we? Can we?
I mean, I feel like we can. Can we not?
I don't know. I'm starting to doubt
Florida.
whether that's true.
Come on, people in Florida. Let's step it up.
Oh my gosh. So that's also a thing that's happening. We should also mention, of course, that we're thinking about all of our conservative friends, really everybody. You don't have to be conservative for us to be hoping for the best for you in California in the face of this Hurricane Hillary. And then there were parts of California that experienced a freaking earthquake in the midst of the hurricane and all the flooding and the rain. And why am I blurry? Let me try to fix that.
No, it's been happening. Okay, that's way better.
So anyway, the fact that Palm Springs is flooded right now is such a mind screw.
It is so crazy. Yeah.
I mean,
and a lot of the celebrities out there are like freaking out because they're just not used to. They're like, what is happening?
Yeah, it's weird. Crazy. I mean, it
is really weird. It's weird.
But we do have a video later on to play for folks about why the Hawaii stuff happened, why all this is happening. Because of course, the narrative is climate change.
It's obviously climate change, you guys.
And
obviously, you guys need to hurry up and staple more money to the clouds.
Right.
Hurry up and do that. Am I too far from the screen? Somebody said I'm too far. Do I need to get really close to the screen?
You do.
Better. My
scooch.
This much. I can't get that much closer.
Now you seem so much taller than me.
Well,
which is normal.
I am taller than you. Okay. Is this better? Is this a little bit better? I'm sorry. I don't want to be far away. I want to get right up next to you guys. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, let's get into some videos because obviously the reason that we're going to be not having a show tomorrow is in anticipation of the Wednesday debate and possible concurrent programming, maybe, that Trump could be doing at the same time with Tucker, without Tucker,
happening.
Who knows?
That's so happening.
It seems like it's.
I feel like I'm 90% sure that that's happening. What about you guys? I feel like it's. Don't you think that's happening?
I mean, there's some stuff happening.
A lot of chatter.
So I thought we've got tons and tons of videos to get to with just different kinds of analysis about the debate, Trump's presence at it or not. There's Rana, who I'm named after today, Rana McDaniel today, because she is still thinking there's a chance. So we'll see. I'll get to that in just a second. We'll kick it off with Byron York on Special Report with Bret Baier, discussing how different the debates might be without Trump there.
Speaking of Wednesday night, it appears more likely that the former president is not going to appear. We'll see. You never know with former President Trump, but those are the indications he's giving off. Byron, does that change the dynamic in your mindset?
Absolutely. I mean, a debate with Donald Trump is wildly different from a debate without Donald Trump. And I think each candidate, if the former president is not there, each candidate is going to have to decide, well, how am I going to handle the Trump issue? It's going to come up. Chris Christie wants to attack Trump whether he's there or not. But I think what you're going to see is a lot of the other ones kind of trying to tiptoe around the Trump issue because they know how many Republicans who were watching them support Trump. In all of the cattle call events we've had up till now, most of them tried to avoid talking too much about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, except for that Hurd guy, Hurd, whatever his name is, the Texan dude. No, the Will guy.
Oh, the one I thought you were talking about a commentator. Yeah, William Hurd. I don't think he's made the stage.
Has he made the stage?
I don't think so.
He's not going to be there? Okay, because he's another anti guy. And then the other, who's Asa dude? Asa dude is also an anti-Trump guy. I mean, there's a handful of anti-Trump people that are going to be up there slamming Trump.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's saying that there are people up there that are afraid they're going to tiptoe around the Trump thing. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Like the Nikki Haley's, she'll tiptoe.
Yeah,
she's going to tiptoe. I mean, I think even Pence will probably tiptoe. And Vivek, he'll absolutely tiptoe. But, I think DeSantis won't. I don't think he'll.
Well, it's interesting because his PAC accidentally, I guess, released a strategy document about how DeSantis is supposed to approach the debate. Mm-hmm. And one of the things it said was defend Trump by using the line. Like if somebody else, like a Chris Christie, attacks him, then DeSantis should be the one to come out and say, let's not attack someone who's not here to defend himself.
Okay. Well,
so,
I mean,
it's interesting strategy.
It is an interesting strategy. I mean, I think that's fair to do that, right? I don't think it's going to help. People are still going to pin DeSantis against Trump, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a good strategy, but people are still going to make those two guys like the front runners that are like against each other, and they're going to pin one another against the other. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're the ones who are in the battle, and then the rest of them are just stragglers. Like Chris,
is it a good strategy? Like, I can't decide if it's a good strategy for him or any of the candidates to go after Trump like crazy or to tiptoe. I don't know what the best thing is to do, or if anything is even, if any strategy would work at this point. You know what I mean?
Because people
don't know.
Because people in their minds are making it a Trump versus DeSantis thing, no matter what.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what strategy they do. Because as evidenced by what happened this weekend, and we'll get to that, but yeah, it just doesn't matter. People are pinning those two against one another. No matter what strategy he picks, that's what is going to happen. And
it started with Trump. Trump is the one that pins the two of them against each other.
Yeah, I mean, he did. He did. He's like, put him up. I mean, he did do that. He did do that. It doesn't. I mean, I don't think it matters at this point because it is going to be neck and neck, those two.
Well, not even neck and neck. I mean, Trump is like miles ahead of DeSantis when it comes to.
For right now, he is. Mm-hmm.
Do you think it'll change?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, like I've always said, I have to see the first round of debates. I have to see that.
Yeah.
I have to see these people talk. I have to wait it out and see. I don't have a horse yet. I want to see all these people do what they're supposed to do and show me what they got. And then maybe I'll pick a horse and see. And I don't know. I don't think I'm alone. I think there are other people that want to see how this plays out. I know there are a lot of people, especially in our audience, that are very, very Trump. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that have picked other horses, but I just have not picked a horse yet. I want to see everybody perform and do their civic duty, right? And get up there and show me what they got and answer some questions. And then maybe I'll pick a horse. Yeah.
Well, there's video from I tried to get as many different channels as possible to just kind of get a little bit of a taste of the reaction. Here is CNN.
The first Republican presidential debate of the 2024 campaign cycle is now just 5 days away, and Donald Trump's plans to snub the event are now becoming much clearer. CNN's Elena Treen is now here with details. So, Elena, what are you learning about his plans to skip the debate?
Well, he's not going, as you just, he won't be there on Wednesday. Of course, and I said this earlier when we had some earlier reporting about this, there's always the hedge from the campaign and from me, just from having covered Donald Trump for so many years, that he could always change his mind at the 11th hour. But no, in the last 24 hours, he's been telling advisors that he has no plans to go. And instead, he's planning to do an interview with Tucker Carlson around the same time of the debate, I'm told. He's also planning to have some of his surrogates go to the debate in his absence so that he still has some sort of representation there, specifically in the spin room after the debate, even when he's not there himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not going to be there. It's going to be so interesting to see how because on Wednesday night, it's going to be crazy to see how people are watching, how we're spectating,
Right.
because I'm assuming Twitter is going to be the platform is that going to be the platform for Trump and Tucker? How's Tucker going to be doing this? So Tucker is going to be interviewing Trump, right? Well, I'm assuming it's going to be on Twitter. Correct.
I would assume so too, because that's where Tucker's show is.
That's his platform. So if Trump is with Tucker, it's going to be on Twitter, and then this other one's going to be on Fox,
unless Trump has arranged it that it's on Truth. If that's a deal that he made with Tucker, because why would he give Twitter all kinds of views and advertising dollars when he has a whole competing
it's a good point
platform? I don't know.
You never know. It's the art of the deal. You never know. There could have been some deal made. I have no idea what deal is being made there, but there's one of two options. So it could be either his or it could be Elon's platform.
Or something else entirely.
Right.
Like, who knows? Maybe maybe it's a blade. Who knows? I have no idea how they're going to
That's true. So whatever platform it's on, it's Tucker's deal with Trump over here. And then we've got, the debate on Fox, which so we're going to have to figure out, okay, how are we going to manage? And a lot of people are going to be doing that.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of people are going to be flipping back and forth and trying to figure out. And so it's going to be Wednesday is going to be so interesting. And I'm assuming they're going to do it at the exact same time.
That's my bet.
That's what he wants to do. He's, there's strategery there to do it at the exact same time because that's who he is as a person.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because MSNBC is trying to suggest that this is a terrible idea for Trump because no one knows how to watch Tucker, which for Wednesday could be true, but I'm sure that they would be like seriously doing some advertising about it. But to say that no one knows how to watch Tucker in general is so idiotic considering how many millions and millions of views Tucker gets on all of his shows.
Ridiculous.
It is, but you have to hear it straight from the MSNBC mouth.
Now, the intriguing thing in practice is this. We've known Donald Trump wants to own the news cycle around the GOP debate. He could do that by just being silent and making all the others look like little candidates compared to the former president. He could do so by a major distraction. The problem with the Tucker Carlson piece is nobody knows how to watch it. I had no idea how to watch Tucker Carlson, and Fox News is currently suing Tucker, saying you're not allowed to be doing these news feeds. So some people will see it, but will it really own the airwaves and own the news cycle sitting down with Tucker Carlson for an online community that very few people know how to find? We'll see.
All right. God, the arrogance
I know
of these news networks. It's just, isn't it astounding?
It's incredible.
How much they think they're just so awesome still. There was some woman, I can't remember her name. She was an Asian lady. And I saw her over the weekend. I honestly have never even heard of her. And she's an MSNBC lady. And she was talking about how basically nobody watches Tucker.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And people just, I guess, what do they call it? Ratioed her on Twitter. Yeah. They were just like, lady, let's compare you to him.
Right.
I'd never even heard of this woman. And they compared like her viewership to his. And it was like, you don't want to do that. You don't. Like, she just looked like a complete moron. And his views are,
oh my God.
They shadow MSNBC's. I mean,
everybody. They completely are above every single TV station.
He blows everybody out of the water on Twitter. It's just like, so for them to say people don't know how to find him. Really? Oh my God. I mean, it's just
fine.
Right. It's astounding how arrogant these people are.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's absolutely incredible. Here's Jonathan Karl. So we've got ABC weighing in.
Trump, we can understand why he's not going. He's got the huge lead. It's a risk. But is there also a risk in not showing up?
Oh, 100%. And the other candidates, he's going to take a lot of incoming and not have any effective response. This comes in the wake of the Georgia indictments last week. He's not really been able to talk publicly on that. He's even canceled the plans for the press conference he was going to have. So he's going to be out there without an ability to push back in real time. Now, he's going to do some counter programming. He's going to basically test the proposition that he doesn't have to engage with the other candidates. But for the other candidates, if you think that this is a race to become the non-Trump candidate, this is the perfect opportunity to do that. With Ron DeSantis now at center stage, they're going to have a chance to kind of strut their stuff without having to worry about the direct rebuttal where he always dominates. He'll come up a lot, but there is a risk in him not actually being there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a risk.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's some people that want to see him spar with the other people. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen him on the debate stage. So it's not the same for somebody like me. I know that a lot of people, the people who love Trump and like will love him no matter what, don't care either way.
Right.
But for me, I mean, it's like I feel like there's going to be a lot of the same questions if Tucker's talking to him. There's going to be a lot of same questions that we've seen him answer in other forums with people like Tucker. So I'm going to be like, okay, well, I mean, show me something that I haven't already seen before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's fine. It's going to be, I'm sure it'll be a great interview because Tucker does great interviews. But it would have been nice to see him spar with some of those people on that debate stage.
And I guess he just feels like he's above it all. I mean, that's where he is right now, is that he knows he's ahead in polls, which he didn't used to care about polls. But now, of course, when he's in the lead, then he cares a lot about them. Rana, though, again, not giving up.
So let's take a look at the lineup there. I think that President Trump will not be there on the debate night. What are your thoughts on that? And who did make the debate stage?
Well, I'm still holding out hope that President Trump will come. I think it's so important that the American people hear from all the candidates. But there's a lot of candidates that have qualified. We're at 7 right now that have officially qualified with the small dollar donations, with the polling threshold and the pledge. And then we've got some that are on the cusp. So we're going to be looking at polls the next few days. There are 3 or 4 that are waiting for 1% and one more national poll to make that debate stage.
Tracker jackers. So many trackers.
He's holding out hope, you guys.
He's holding out a lot of hope.
He's holding out some hope.
Yeah, she probably shouldn't do that.
It's not a good idea. I don't think that's a good bet that you want to bet on right now at all.
Yeah.
One thing you do want to bet on really quickly before we get to any more debate coverage is the fact that there is some serious weirdness happening with BRICS, with this alliance of countries that are essentially our enemies coming together to form a new super currency. That's terrifying. And if you have not learned about how that might impact you, you should text the word chicks to 989898. Get free information from Birch Gold about BRICS, about the Durban Accords, about how all of this could impact you and your financial portfolio. And just be ready. Just have your eggs spread out in many baskets, if you will, and learn. And there's no obligation if you do this. When you text the word chicks to 989898, all you're committing to is learning and getting free information. And what you do with that information, entirely up to you after that. No obligation whatsoever. Just learn. Text the word chicks to 989898 and get that kit from Birch Gold. So Trump has finally officially tweeted about his plans for the debate. And there's an interesting note here that we should mention. Oh, shoot, I don't know if it's covered up, but he's basically saying, look, I'm so much ahead. I'm so much ahead of in all these polls. He does the name calling for DeSanctimonious.
Ailing bird. I love that.
Sloppy Chris Christie, Ada, which I've still never understood that nickname. Anyway, so he says he touts his record, but then at the very end he says, so I will therefore not be doing the debates, plural, which I thought was really interesting.
So none of them. Okay. All right.
That is even more of a neener.
Yeah. So none of them, even though because he has no idea what's going to happen in that first debate. Like what happens? It's a crapshoot, right? Like what if Vivek just kicks ass in that first debate and then just starts doing, I'm just hypothetically, you guys, I'm just putting it out there. I have no idea. But what if he just does so well that he kicks Ron's butt and just takes over and starts doing really well and just swoops in there and then knocks everybody out, and who knows?
Yeah.
You know, he becomes the guy and everybody just loves him. And the dynamic just completely changes. I don't know. Would that change his mind? I don't know. I'm just putting that out there because you never know what will happen in these races if, you know, dynamics change. And he's saying a lot of stuff here or he's putting himself in a position where if he says, I'm not going to be doing any of the debates, well, I don't know. Will he regret that later?
Well, and should he be allowed to be the one that makes that call? And so this is an interesting point from none other than Donna Brazile, who I don't often agree with on anything. But in this case, I kind of think she has a point when it comes to Trump being able to call the shots about the debate. It's really the RNC that should be calling the shots, right? I mean, it's they're in charge of the debates, not Trump.
However, that's interesting coming from a person who, you know, listen, you don't see Biden. Biden's not going to probably do any debates either. So it's interesting that Donna Brazile is making comments about our side of the aisle when that guy's going to be in a basement.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's
you know,
true.
I mean, I don't think she should be commenting on our side. So she may want to take all the seats, but it'll be interesting to hear what she has to say. It's fine.
Here she is.
There should be some policy that says if you fail to show up for the first two debates, you know what? We're going to make sure that you're not able to show up at the last four when perhaps Donald Trump faced some new allegations and have to defend his record. This will be an opportunity for all of the second-tier candidates to have a breakthrough. And the first-tier candidates, the Ron DeSantis and those who are polling in double digits, to really shine, to show that they have some expert knowledge on foreign policy or domestic policy. So on one hand, as a former chair, I would be reluctant to allow Donald Trump to pick and choose which debate he would show up in the future. But also, I would say to the candidates, go out and give it your best shot.
Okay, now do your side. Seriously. Because do you think for a hot second that Biden's going to debate anybody? For real? Because he's not going to.
And do we know where RFK Jr. is polling lately? Like, I haven't heard about any of that recently.
I don't know, but I'm sure he's in the double digits. He's got to be in the double digits.
I would think.
So make Biden debate him. I would personally love to watch that. And I know there are plenty of people in our audience who would love to see that too. Never going to happen.
Yeah. And then throw Marianne Williamson into the mix and then we got a party.
So take your finger wagging and wag that at yourself, Donna. I'd love to see that.
Well, there's still some folks, as Rana said, trying to make the stage. One of them is Suarez, which I can't even believe this guy is still in. Caitlin Collins interviewed him and really pressed him on whether or not he was going to make the stage. He's pretty insistent. We'll see.
8 candidates have met the RNC's polling and donor requirements to qualify for that stage. And we should have a pretty good idea by Monday night at this hour who is officially in and who is officially out. That is by the time that GOP candidates must deliver their signed loyalty pledges to support whoever it is as the eventual nominee. We should note Mike Pence's campaign says that he signed it today. Our first guest says he has just met the polling threshold as well. Let's go straight to the source. Miami's mayor and Republican presidential candidate Francis Suarez. Mayor, thank you for being here. You say that you have qualified to get on that debate stage on Wednesday night. The RNC, I should note, says that you have not yet qualified. Are you sure you're going to be there Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to be there on Wednesday. We've been having conversations back and forth. They've never done this before. We've never done this before. And we are sort of crossing our T's and going through the process. For example, we've shown them that we've reached the donor threshold by having, I think, 42,000 or so donations. But understandably, they need to audit that. So there's a process for them to audit that. We've sent them just tonight a couple of polls, including one by Kaplan Strategies, where we're actually at 2%. Which would meet the national goals. They're certifying that as well. And so it's a process. We understand it's a process. We did sign the loyalty pledge, and we expect and hope that very, very shortly, in hopefully the next 24 or 48 hours, but certainly by Monday, we'll know for certain. We're planning on it. We booked hotel reservations. We're inviting people. We have a bunch of guests coming up from Miami. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity to introduce myself to the nation.
Okay, so you're confident
having an opportunity to do so right now.
And you're confident, Mayor, that the polling will be.
Isn't he the guy that didn't know what a Uyghur was?
That is correct.
He's the guy that didn't know what that was. No, he has not a chance in hell of becoming president. He has like probably less than a chance than Perry Johnson does.
Oh my God, I forgot about Perry Johnson.
Perry Johnson. I see his ads all the time here in Texas.
Wait,
constantly.
isn't he on the stage? Didn't he like give out gift cards or something in order to make it?
I have no idea if that guy's going to make it. He is so entertaining to me, that guy. Such a happy guy. So happy.
He's very, very happy.
I mean, I know nothing about anything about that guy except for that he did something about budgets. Like he's a budget guy. That's all. He's a business guy that does budgeting. And then I'm thinking he's just like, he just looks like he's a little bit off. But I'm like, what about national security? What about this? What about that? I mean, it'll be entertaining if he's actually at the debates. I want to see him talk a little bit more, but Perry Johnson, you guys, he wants to be president. Some of these people that think that they can be president, it is just fascinating to me. Who are these people?
One of them,
Johnson, yes.
One of them, Mike Pence, got a little bit, I don't even know how to describe what you're about to see. So Mike Pence was asked, like, how can you possibly catch up or whatever? And he got all like strutting his stuff. And you know how normally Mike Pence is very sort of a gentle,
he does this with this thumb. Right. He'll do that.
He does this a lot.
He does that.
But in this, he's like, he's all Mr. Tough Guy. And so I just thought it was funny. Check this out.
When I reach that debate stage next week, we're going to be talking about the issues the American people are focused on.
Is the former president's lead right now just insurmountable? What can you do to catch up at this point?
Well, just watch and learn.
What's that?
Watch and learn, he said.
Watch and learn. Why'd you do it?
I mean, look at you. We see you, Mike Pence.
Mike Pence is talking smack. Look at him. Wow.
Oh my gosh. And here, lastly, to close out like this little discussion about the debate, is Donald Trump in one of his finest moments in a previous debate when Jeb Bush and he were sparring on stage. This is the kind of moment. This is when he was at his absolute best. And it's this clip that I saw over the weekend where I was like, damn it, Trump, why are you not debating? This is what we need to see from you.
This is right here. This is the thing. Yeah.
Because this is the stuff this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Elderly woman. Let me talk quiet.
How tough
a lot
is
of
it?
time. That's all of his donors and special interests out there.
Oh my God.
That's what it is. And by the way, let me just tell you, we needed tickets. You can't get them. You know who has the tickets I'm talking about to the television audience? Donors, special interest, the people that are putting up the money. So it is. The RNC told us we have all donors in the audience. And the reason they're not loving me, the reason they're not loving me is I don't want their money. I'm going to do the right thing for the American public. I don't want their money. I don't need their money. And I'm the only one up here that can say that. Eminent domain.
I mean, it was a beautiful thing.
It was a beautiful thing. And you're right. This is exactly why he needs to freaking debate.
Yep.
Where is that guy?
I know.
Where is he? It's like, that's what I miss, you guys. And you can yell at me all you want, but I miss that guy. Like, why isn't he going to show up? Why isn't that guy showing up for me? It's like, now he's too good to do that? Come on.
Now he's way too far ahead and he's been crowned. So he doesn't have to work for you anymore.
I hate that. That makes me mad. That's not okay.
It's really not okay.
No, he's not still the same guy. And it's, he has 4 indictments, but he's not the same guy. Now there's like a politician in there. A politician is snuck in there and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like he's got to show up. He's got to show up for me. And that bothers me. It does. It bothers me. Yeah, he's got 4 indictments. He should show up because he's got 4 indictments. He should show up and he should say all the things during that debate.
He's not gonna. not going to do that.
So
all right, let's move on because we have to get to this whole listless vessel discussion. So DeSantis right now is just facing a world of backlash for some comments that he made in an interview about supporters of Donald Trump, ostensibly. So we're going to play the whole clip because the only thing that's going around, it seems, is a very truncated version of the clip. And so people have decided to get themselves all offended and equate DeSantis's comments with Hillary Clinton's basket of deplorables. But I think when I listened to the whole thing, I was like, I don't see anything wrong with what he said. So, I mean, we'll play
but
it.
see,
You
that's
guys-
that's the problem is people take things out of context now. They take like bits and pieces and chunks of things and then they run with it and everybody freaks out because no one reads anything in its full context anymore.
Right.
And so that's what happened with this over the weekend.
And I feel like if you're offended by it, then you are who he's talking to. So
Mhm.
if you're a person who supports Trump just because you support him for whatever reason you support him, he's not talking to you. He's talking specifically about people who care, who have no principles except for what Trump says. And that's a very different kind of thing than just a person who supports Trump. That's a totally different thing. And I think he makes it really clear, but we'll play it in its entirety so people can decide.
We have a strand in our party that views supporting Trump as whether you are a rhino or not. And so you could be the most conservative person since sliced bread. Unless you're kissing his rear end, they will somehow call you a rhino. So it's been totally detached from principle and what you actually believe and results. And it's more about, just what faction you happen to do. So there'll be people who are huge Trump supporters, like in Congress, who have like incredibly liberal left-wing records that's really just atrocious. And yet they're viewed as by some of these folks as like really, really good. Then you have other people, like a Congressman Chip Roy, who's endorsed me, Congressman Thomas Massey. These guys have records of principle fighting the swamp that are second to none. And yet they will be attacked by some of these people and called rhinos. So it's just been totally detached from any type of substance. And ultimately, a movement can't be about the personality of one individual. The movement has got to be about what are you trying to achieve on behalf of the American people. And that's got to be based in principle. Because if you're not rooted in principle, if all we are is listless vessels that's just supposed to follow, whatever happens to come down the pike on Truth Social every morning, that's not going to be a durable movement.
I don't know how he's wrong.
No, I mean, it's I think people took that out of context and they're like, so people, I don't see what was wrong with what he said either. It should be about conservatism. It's about the movement. It's not about the person. That's what he's trying to say.
Right.
That's what he
and
was
I don't
trying
know. There was no insult in that. He was just saying, if you're a person who's going to call Chip Roy and Thomas Massey rhinos simply
Right.
because they don't support Trump as the nominee, that's freaking batshit. That makes no sense. Because then you're just deciding that a person is more important than actual principles of conservatism. And
Right.
why would you want to be somebody who does that? And if you're taking offense, then why are you admitting out loud, I have no principles or integrity. I just want to follow one dude, no matter what he does or says.
Right. And isn't the whole notion of conservatism like free will, like freedom? Like you should be able to do what you want to do, man. Like that's what we're all about on our side of the aisle. You should be able to make your own choices. You know what I mean?
Well, now it's no longer a side of the aisle. Now it's either it's just a Trump follower or you're a rhino and you're not conservative anymore, when in fact it's Trump who has not been conservative on so many issues. So like,
Well,
I just don't get it. I don't get why people are mad
I don't even look at it that way. I just look at there are lots of conservatives. There are lots of different people who are actually conservative. I'll pick the conservative who I want to vote for, who I want to align with. There are a lot of different conservatives, a lot of different people who are conservative. Just because I pick that conservative doesn't mean I'm not conservative. Just because I pick this conservative doesn't mean I'm not conservative. That's what it's like. You can't don't tell me I'm not conservative because I don't pick your conservative. That's what I hate that about our party.
I know,
You know,
it's
the
crazy.
Democrats don't do that. And I just get so irritated when we do. It's just like, okay, because my conservative is my choice. You're not conservative because you don't pick my conservative. Screw you. It's like,
Yeah.
that's not the way it's supposed to work. It's like there are lots of different conservatives. You can pick yours. That's fine. I'm not going to chastise you for picking yours. If you want to pick yours, that's fine. That's why we have, a constitutional republic. That's the way that we work. We get to choose who we want to choose, and then whoever is the best choice wins. That's how it
it's
works.
supposed to work.
Right. That's how it's supposed to work. But man, I mean, we just get ugly on our side of the aisle.
I mean, I've already seen people are like, you're wrong and I'm out. You know what I mean? It's like, if we're not lockstep behind Trump in every last way, then people just cannot tolerate the fact that we're speaking our minds.
Well, it's interesting because I may be lockstep behind Trump. I may be, but the fact that you even mention that you may not be becomes a weird. Everybody gets so, not everybody, but a lot of people get so weirded out by that. You shouldn't be so weirded out by that. That's what makes this country so great. That's what makes, being conservative so great. There are choices. We should be able to have choices.
Yeah. Rosa, thank you. Rosa says Trump doesn't need to prove himself at this point. Plus, it would be all about him. Let Vivek, Roe, I'm assuming that's Ron DeSantis, show what they've got. We all know where Trump stands. We know where a lot of these candidates stand, but a debate is a super healthy and traditional part of this process, and we deserve to see them all on stage together.
Yeah,
so it's not about not knowing who these people are. We know very well who they are, but we haven't all seen them compete with one another all together in one place. That's the whole point of a debate.
I know where all of them stand policy wise.
Yeah.
I know where all of them stand. I just want to see them. I want to see them debate.
I do too.
I think that we should see all of them have a healthy debate. It is like kind of like what Mock said. It's part of the process. I just want to see that.
Yeah.
I think that's part of, it's like interviewing for a job, and you have to interview for the job. And every 4 years, they all have to interview for the job. It's not something that we owe them. They have to do that for us. And that's, it's part of the process. So do it.
CNN, of course, they're jumping all over the chance to crap on DeSantis about the listless vessel comment, but in doing so, like so many other outlets, they're super cutting what he said, and Ken Cuccinelli calls them out right on their station, right to their faces, about how they're cutting it, and it was kind of amazing.
But there was a pretty interesting moment in a recent interview where Governor DeSantis talked about Trump supporters. He used the words listless vessels.
But he wasn't talking about Trump supporters.
Hold on. I'm going to play it for everybody, and then you can go ahead. Let's listen.
A movement can't be about the personality of one individual. If all we are is listless vessels that's just supposed to follow, whatever happens to come down the pike on Truth Social every morning, that's not going to be a durable movement.
Everybody just saw there that there was a cut. You cut from the beginning of that quote to the listless vessels. You just did what the problem is. So everybody who just watched that, understand, go read the transcript.
Okay, fine. So you summarize for us what was it that he was trying to say?
Well, first of all, his first point is an excellent point. This should be about America, not about individuals.
Okay.
And
how do we get from there to listless vessels?
Yes, well, the rest of an entire paragraph, by the way. There's a pretty big gap in your cut. So he's talking about some of the folks in D.C. who've endorsed Trump. He's talking about the more general environment and referring to all of us collectively. We can't just sit back and take all of this, be listless vessels. We have to move ahead with a different vision. That was not Trump assigned. And so folks, go read the transcript. You don't have to listen to me. You go read it yourself.
But see, this is the thing with our society in general. Like, people don't go read the transcript. They don't listen to the whole thing.
Right.
They watch like these stupid clips, and then they like that are cut. And then they just go, oh my God, this is what he said. He's such a jerk. It's like this, and he's calling us names. I hate him. But this happens all the time. I've seen it happen over and over again. We've seen people get canceled over this kind of stuff. Because they just don't want to, everybody doesn't want to read things or just see the full context of anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, this is our society now. It's like, oh my God. I don't know. he didn't. This was taken out of context, and of course the left is loving it too. The right's loving it. A lot of people on the right are loving it as well, but the left is loving it too. Listen, I am not necessarily a Ron DeSantis person, and I'm not an anybody person, but I do hate that when this stuff happens, especially like in a pivotal week, because they love it, because and the left especially loves pinning right against right. That they love doing this.
And this will absolutely come up on the debate stage.
Oh, totally.
There's no way that it won't.
Without question. Yeah. So, I mean, they love the stuff. They eat it up with a spoon. The media is just like, oh yeah, let's pin like Trump people against DeSantis people even more because they don't hate each other enough already. This is great, you guys, listless vessels. It's just like deplorables. I mean, it's just such BS. It's so stupid.
It is nonsense. Now, in the meantime, Trump also truthed, I guess is the word, about the fact that DeSantis, Pence were both in Georgia recently to meet with Governor Kemp. And I don't know why, like, I don't know what their business was there, but like, you know, I don't know that there's anything wrong with having conversations with, you know, like a Florida governor talking to a Georgia governor. Not sure why that's a problem, but Trump is very, very mad about it. And so he tweeted about it and said, well, you're going to see it on your screen in just a second.
Okay. So, Charlie, I've covered a lot of Trump rallies. I've talked to a lot.
What is that? Do I have another clip that I forgot about? Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so Charlie Hurt is I'm sorry. I was ahead of myself. Charlie Hurt goes after DeSantis hard for this. So he took it the way that a lot of people did, which was this is a ridiculous move on his part to insult Trump supporters. Here's what he said.
A lot of their supporters, and I can tell you right now, I'm calling it listless vessels is going to be on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And if it's not already on one right now, what's the thinking?
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. No, it's a terrible strategy. And it's so frustrating because Ron DeSantis has such a tremendous record to run on. There's so much promise for him, but he is really failing. Like we have seen few politicians with so much going in their direction fail as badly as he is failing. He's not very good at politics. It's appearing. And the biggest tell is when you go after the voters that you're supposed to win over and you attack them and you mock them. You know, we've seen Hillary Clinton tried it with the basket of deplorables, as you pointed out. And it didn't work for her. And so he's coming up, not only is he coming up with something, I don't even know what a listless vessel is, except that it's insulting. And the suggestion is that these people are not only all the things that Hillary Clinton thought they were, but they're also stupid and they're getting snookered. Trump voters are very, very wise to that. And he's doing himself serious damage that is going to carry with him not only through this primary, but it's going to hurt him 4 years from now.
Well,
I think he doesn't give people enough credit for I think he is being condescending to the average voter out there. Charlie Hurt.
Charlie is?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think he thinks that a lot of us are really stupid by saying that was, you know, because a lot of us out here are just like, I didn't take it as an insult. You know what I mean? I heard what he said and I was smart enough to understand what he said. But Charlie doesn't think we're smart. So, I mean,
but there's a lot of people in our audience who are like, that's right, Charlie,
I'm sorry, but I didn't take it as a knock on me. I just didn't. I took it for what it was, I did.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anywho. Moving on quickly, wanted to get also to Kristi Noem. This actually happened late last week when she was on with Hannity, and Hannity was asking her about whether or not she would consider being Trump's VP candidate, VP choice. And so here is Kristi on that.
Many people. So wherever I go, whenever we have audience shows, people will ask me, you know, I'll ask them, who do they think would be good vice presidential candidates? A little different question than the horse race. And your name comes up every single solitary time. Now, you've tried to dodge, duck, weave, and pull a Joe Biden on me. You don't like this question. However, if you were asked to be vice president with somebody, maybe Donald Trump, would you do it? Well, number one, what you've always asked me is if I'm running for president. So this is a different question. And I will tell you that, of course, I would consider it. I think everybody should consider it. Our country is breaking.
right in front of our very eyes today, and everybody should be a part of putting it back on its foundation. And if President Trump is going to be back in the White House, I do all I can to help him be successful.
Wow.
Well, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
mean, she would be an amazing VP.
She would be such a smarter choice than Marjorie Taylor Greene or Carrie Lake.
God.
She would be a much smarter choice for him.
Oh my God. Yeah. Mic drop is right, Karina. Like she would be like, if somebody could just get in his ear and go, please pick her.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs somebody that's going to temper him, not double up on the Trumpism. You know what I mean? Because the people that already hate him are solidly hating him.
and this time it would be so great if he the female card would be a really, really great card for him to play this time.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking of Marjorie Taylor Greene, her and Laura Loomer are apparently like, they hate each other, or at least Laura Loomer is super mean to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Why?
I don't know, man.
What is that? Why? It's like over the weekend we were talking about that, and you're like, I can't keep track of all the people in our party that hate one another. I can't. And I can't either. I don't understand it. Like I don't know what that riff is or where that started. But yeah, they just cannot stand one another.
And you would think that they would be tight, those two. They're so like-minded in so many ways. That was a real surprise.
Yeah.
This is what I meant to show everybody earlier is when Pence and Ron DeSantis have both recently met with Brian Kemp, and Trump was upset about it and was super sarcastic in this tweet saying, how nice, a really beautiful reunion. 3 people that I indisputably got elected, 2 governors and a VP, Brian Kemp of Georgia, Mike Pence, and Ron DeSanctimonious just met, most likely to talk about the weather or perhaps to talk about how they can stop the weaponization of Georgia law, working with the DOJ and others against their absolutely all-time favorite president, me. All 3 have been just wonderful, so loyal and nice. It's great to have friends like these.
Yikes. Yikes.
And I'm sorry, but why is this a thing? Like, are they not allowed to have conversations with one another without him getting mad? What is going on?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy
Somebody's like a little paranoid or something there. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Okay, so the Youngkin thing was interesting. I saw on Daily Mail this morning that Murdoch was like in talks to try to get Glenn Youngkin to run for president. Did you guys see that this morning? So I don't like it when these guys throw their hat in the ring this late in the game.
Yeah, I think that would be so weird.
It is really weird. We've had a lot of guys on our Radio America team like chatting about this forever, and we're like, never gonna happen. But it could happen, right? There was that one dude who was the CIA dude that did that in the last race that I just got so pissed off about. Was it Evan something or other?
Oh, McMillan?
Evan McMillan. He did that like literally the 24th mile of the marathon. He jumped in. Evan McMuffin, whatever that guy's name is. It pissed me off so bad because he was like, I'm going to go ahead and just run. After everybody's done the debates and everything, he decided he was going to throw his hat in the ring. Drove me crazy. But yeah, Glenn Youngkin, there's chatter about him possibly throwing his hat in the ring. I mean, it could happen because there's so much of this weirdness in our party right now.
But does it change anything?
I don't know. I don't know who he would attract. I don't know if he would be a viable candidate for anybody. Like I'm curious what our audience thinks about that. If people would find him an attractive, viable, wonderful candidate, but there are people that we know that think he would just be awesome. That he would be a great candidate, that he could swoop in and like save the party at the last minute. Honest to God, we hear that from people. So, I mean, I don't know. Glenn Youngkin. This is happening, you guys. This is like the chatter in the background. Glenn Youngkin.
It is interesting. Rosa, thank you again. Rosa says it's about independence at this point. That's absolutely, it's always about the independence in any election, which is again, why I worry. Steve, I don't want to lose again.
Steve Puckett says he might throw his hat into the ring. Steve, I think you should do it.
You should, Steve.
You should totally throw your hat in the ring, Steve.
I mean, why not? At this point, why not? Why not? Now, I will tell you that the No Labels Party is getting very, very interested in this race and potentially launching a third-party candidate. Here is Larry Hogan to talk about it. So we all know how much we loved Larry Hogan, right? I mean, we would absolutely want to vote for Larry Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get to, there we go.
Where 2/3 of the people are not interested in voting for the Republican or Democratic nominee, the likely nominees. And, an overwhelming majority of people are completely fed up with politics. They think Washington is broken. And so even though this normally is not something that we consider and talk about seriously because it hasn't happened in the past, this is something that could happen. We have to wait and see how this campaign plays out. We're a long way off. I don't know that
So is this
at
a
this
yes?
point in time that Trump and Biden are going to do it. But if Trump and Biden are the nominees, it's very likely that No Labels will get access to the ballot and will offer an alternative. And, if most of the voters don't want A or B, we have an obligation to give them C, maybe for the good of the country.
But doesn't that potentially just, and I'm going to give you the last word, David Axelrod, but Governor Hogan,
thank you.
doesn't that give, honestly, doesn't that pave the way for Donald Trump? Doesn't that siphon votes from Joe Biden and elect the person that you have criticized so heavily?
No, actually, no. That's the Democratic talking points because they're scared to death about this potential opportunity. But no, it's they would only be in it to win it, and they would pull just as many votes from Donald Trump as Joe Biden.
I think he's probably right about a third-party candidate being equally dangerous for Biden and Trump.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Yeah, I can buy that. It's why? Why would
He
you
looks
do
like
that?
a big toe.
He's a thumb. Yeah, he's a humongous. Like a big toe. He's more like a big toe. I was thinking thumb, but he is more like a big toe. Like this guy doesn't have a chance. I just don't understand the mentality of these people that think that they're going to get in there and actually do anything positive. I don't.
But if he's right, if it's true that 65% of the country wants somebody other than Biden and Trump,
but not him.
Well, exactly. But what if this No Labels Party chooses someone different? Like, what if they choose an RFK, or RFK would have to get off the Democrat ticket, obviously.
Right,
but
right.
what if it's somebody that doesn't look like a big toe?
Okay. I
Do
mean,
they have
I
a
guess
chance?
I could buy that if it was somebody at least somewhat charismatic, like an RFK. I could buy that theory, but not somebody like him. I mean, it's not going to be somebody like him. But yeah, I mean, I guess there are people who are looking for an alternative.
What if it's Manchin?
Or yeah, okay.
I don't know. I'm just, I have no idea who they would end up putting up. But it sounds like they're saying if it is going to be between Trump and Biden, we're in. We're in.
Yeah, but when are they going to do that? When are they going to start touting that person? That's the thing. It's like this last minute crap. You can't just slip somebody in there last minute.
Right.
You got to start putting that stuff up now. People want to see that person now. Where's the viable candidate? We need to start seeing that person. And or they need to start doing it like right around the time that people start debating, because people need to start, that needs to percolate in our brains where, the American people need to start seeing the issues being seen and talked about, and people need to start going, okay, well, I see these people. I'm a little bit like, unenthused. It's like, whatever. Okay. Where's the other option then? You know what I mean? They can't just wait until like 3 weeks before.
You know what it needs to be? It needs to be Tulsi.
Tulsi would be a very interesting third party. She'd be an interesting
force.
third party. Yeah, she'd be a force. But I don't know if, I'm just putting this out there. I'm being honest. I don't know if a woman third party candidate would be enough to, dissuade people.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
It'll be interesting. It'll be very, very interesting.
There was a bit of a momentous occasion that happened on CNN over the weekend, and that is that Jake Tapper uttered the words, "Trump was right." And I was like, what is even happening? I know.
Yeah.
I'll give you the full context. Here it is.
Kristen, Glenn Kessler from the Washington Post had a fact check about Joe Biden from earlier this month, noting that Hunter Biden admitted in court in July that he was in fact paid substantial sums from Chinese companies. Kessler wrote, Hunter Biden reported nearly $2.4 million in income in 2017 and $2.2 million in income in 2018, most of which came from Chinese or Ukrainian interests. But this directly goes against what Joe Biden said in the debate in 2020 with Donald Trump. Take a listen.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about what are you talking about? China.
Once you
None of
became
that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
So it's from two different debates, but I mean, Trump was right. I mean, he did make a fortune from China, and Joe Biden was wrong. I don't know that he was lying about it. He might not have been told by Hunter, but this blind spot is a problem.
It's a problem, one, because Republicans aren't going to let it go, that's for sure. But also, these problems are continuing through the legal system. It's not as though this is something that's been settled in other jurisdictions and Republicans are just harping on it. It is an ongoing thing in our courts. It's not going anywhere.
This is a blind spot. Does it concern you as a Democrat?
Well, I think dads have sometimes, and parents sometimes have blind spots about their kids, for sure, and the president may be no exception. But nothing has tied the president to any of Hunter Biden's dealings. There's no whiff of him being involved or him being implicated in it. And it's, I think it's not something the voters care a lot about.
All right, my thanks to the panel.
God, they just keep hanging on to that, don't they? And she's like, yeah, it's a problem because Republicans aren't going to let it go. Like, it's just something that we just keep nitpicking and we just won't let it go. Yeah, hell yeah, we're not going to let it go. Of course, we're not going to let it go because it's a matter of national security at this point.
Right.
Hello. I mean, it's like dealings with China and Ukraine. You don't think that.
You froze. Are you there? Hello. Did she freeze for everybody or is it just me? Is she frozen completely? Are you frozen? Come back. You guys, is she frozen?
Back.
Oh, there
I'm
you
here.
are.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I know you froze for me too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're frozen. Okay. Do you want to continue or?
Yes, we can continue. I see climate change lunacy.
Well, yeah. So this is Michael Schellenberger, who wants to set the record straight about all this narrative stuff that you're hearing about, whether it's the Hurricane Hillary, whether it's what happened with the fires that are now in Washington State, Canada still, Maui, everywhere. And so you're going to constantly hear it drilled into your skulls from Democrats that this is all about climate change. Here's Michael Schellenberger to set the record straight.
Thank you, Brian. I think the most important thing for people to understand about Hawaii's wildfires was that the same thing happened there that happened in California, which is that they had failed to invest in wildfire protection. The main cause, it appears, of those fires is sparks from electrical wires going into highly flammable vegetation. The utility, the Hawaiian Electric Utility, had failed to invest not even $250,000 into wildlife protection. Into wildfire prevention. Instead, it had invested all of its time and money into renewables. And so just like in California, they had failed to properly manage the forests and the grasslands, keep the area around the electrical wires clear. That was the cause of the fire, not modestly higher temperatures or slightly less rain.
I mean,
that's unacceptable.
It is. And it's so obvious. Like when he says that stuff, it's like, how are people actually not seeing that? How are they so snowed to believe that this is like because we drive cars or because there's airplanes or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I didn't see who said this, but somebody said truth telling, put him on CNN. And they need to put him on the other networks too. That guy needs to, but yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath on that because they don't want him to be saying those things on the other channels, right? Because the narrative is climate change.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Before we get to WAC, I just wanted to remind everybody to check out our American Business Spotlight partners. All of them are listed at our website, chicksontheright.com/sponsors. And then you can see the big banner that says American Business Spotlight. Click that. You'll see the full list of all of our own members of our community who have small businesses that provide amazing products, services, all kinds of stuff. Check them out, support them, support us supporting them. We all support each other. That's the beauty of the American Business Spotlight. If you have a small business and you're interested in participating, you can always send an email to chicks@radioamerica.com. And Jen will get back with you on information about how to be an American Business Spotlight partner. All right, it's time for your WAC.
You guys, I saw this video over the weekend and it was so disturbing. I was like, is this real? This can't be real. Is it staged? It's not staged. It's an actual video of these 3 tiny, tiny kids. And the only thing that, you can surmise from it is that it's just absolute learned behavior. And it makes you just weep on the inside when you watch this. I'm sorry, I'm going to apologize in advance, but I could not see it alone. So here you go.
You motherfucking hoes. Nigga, we at them though. Don't you act like a soul. Hold on, bro. How act like bows? I act like soul. I act like soul.
Look at the little boy. Oh my god.
You know what it is? You know what it is? A bear with no shit.
Oh my god.
I know, right? I know. Do you hear the cursing? All the cursing? I mean, can you even?
Wow.
So like where no parents around. And then it's like somebody, I guess they were videotaping themselves, these little itty bitties, right? And then it gets out there. Like we are able to see this.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody's asking where's CPS. God. I have a daughter-in-law who worked for CPS. I mean, the stories that she tells me, oh my gosh, you guys, it's crazy. Yeah. They don't understand what they're saying. These kids, they don't know what they're saying. They're just repeating behavior that they see. It's so sad. It just makes me so sad. But this is the thing. Like, this is our world. I know I don't want to depress everybody, but I could not see it alone. It's all learned behavior. It's like,
and it's learned from several times of watching it.
Right.
It's not just a one-off.
It's not, you're absolutely right. Over and over and over again, they see that. And you know what? The same thing goes for racism. Racism is learned behavior. Seeing the color of people's skin, that's learned behavior. All of it's learned behavior, and it is disgusting.
Yeah.
So, we all have to do better as people, all of us. Like, oh my goodness. I just saw that and I thought I had to share.
Yeah.
Thanks. Make it stop. It's all learned. All of it's learned. All of it.
Well,
Terrible.
Good news, because we're going to move on from the depressing crap
and
talk about
dogs
the fact
and
that
puppies.
I will. But first, I want to remind everybody about the kitchen towels. Okay. Kitchen towels are now available at mypillow.com/chicks. Look at this. I was going to show you mine, but I'm not unwrapping them because the ones that I ordered are for my future house and I want them to stay pristine.
Oh, look at you.
But look at how this is the exact color that I got. The gray.
I can't see it. It shows black and white. I can't see it. It's not in color for me.
Well, that's because it's not color. It's gray and white.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like it's all like black and white. Like I can't even, it's really funky, but okay.
Really?
Anyway, yeah. Like it looks like the ad is black and white. Maybe it's just me, you guys. Okay.
Like you don't even see this pink over to the side where it says like add to cart, or this whole screen looks black.
Okay. No, I do see the pink, but like the actual, I do see, it's just, can you show like any of the other colors?
Yeah, I'm going to. I just wanted to say that this is what I got.
Yeah. Okay. I got gray and white too.
They also have this.
All right, good.
They have this color, which is called the pear kitchen. And then they also have what they call flower kitchen. And this is the blue set.
Those are super cute.
So nice. These sets of towels. And of course, they're on massive sale, 25% off right
and
now.
They
when you
work.
use promo code chicks.
And they
at
work.
chicksontheright.com mypillow.com/chicks. So super, super awesome kitchen towels. It's like, what are they going to add next? I just am so excited to find out ever. I'm always so excited. Anytime there's a new product from mypillow.com. So
they're fantastic.
So exciting.
They're really absorbent. They're really awesome, you guys. They're
so good. All right, let's get to some MyPillow talks because I've got so many good ones today. Okay, I don't even know how I'm going to pick from them all. There's so many good ones. But we're going to kick it off with Miley because it's been a while, right? It's been a while since we
That's right. We haven't done a Miley thing. Did you know her mom got married this weekend?
I did not know that.
Yeah, she married some dude. She got married in a white dress. Not there's anything wrong with that, but she had like a big wedding with a white dress, and Miley was the maid of honor.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She married some dude from some TV show. I don't remember the name of the TV show, but somebody may know. I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of TV, but anyways, yeah.
Well, the first
Cash is having
one
a dream.
is I don't think we've played this one before. This is, people learn more from the journey anyway. But the first one is one that I hadn't seen. I think you will like this one.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways. The journey.
That's right. The journey. Yeah. Cash is having a dream, you
anyways.
guys. I'm sorry. Cash is back there he's like running in his dream. Somebody was asking if he was having a seizure or something. No, he's fine.
Somebody made this clip of her into, well, let's just say that they've modified it and it's amazing.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways. I remember that you remember anyways. I remember you remember anyways. I remember you remember anyway.
It's fantastic.
Remember they're off with issues saying
the journey is usually the part that you remember anyway.
Yeah. So great.
It won't be perfect until they set it to music, and then it will be my new ringtone.
They need to auto-tune it. They have to.
This video will just remind everybody that if you have a cat, you know this phenomenon well. Cats want to squeeze themselves into the most impossible of containers and boxes. They love the feeling of being squeezed. So here's an example.
Here we go.
It's
It's a cup of cat. I'd like a cup of cat, please. Thank you. I'd like a tiny cup of cat. Thank you.
Why do they do this? I will never
I don't know,
understand
but
it.
that's precious.
I know it is really, really cute.
So
Also,
cute.
a fox was seen on the middle of a golf course, and this fox had a message for the golfers. You gonna swing that ball close to me? Okay, I'll look. I'll look at it. I'll sniff at it. And then
I'm gonna pee on it.
Yo, what did you just piss on my ball?
Oh my God, that's hysterical. That is so funny.
I love that so much. Robin Shaw back with another video from her bathtub. And this is in response to an influencer suggesting an 18-mile run.
Oh.
Good morning. Let's go run 18 miles.
No, thank you. In 2020, I had a video go viral, and this woman called me and she said, "Hi, I work with Oprah Winfrey. We love your video. We were wondering, would you want to be an ambassador for Weight Watchers?" And I was like, sorry, I'm not in the mental place to go on a diet. And she was like, "Oh, no, it's not a diet. It's just about portion control." And I was like, sorry, I'm not in the mental space to portion my alcohol and sugar. And then she goes, "No, it's just about healthy choices." I was like, "Ma'am, I'm not making healthy choices right now." Anyway, it's 2 years later, and I'm in a tub with alcohol and ice cream. We're getting close to making healthy choices, though.
Oh my God, I love her. I love her.
I know. It's
Let's
the
go
giggle,
on an
man.
18-mile run. Let's not. Let's just not do that.
I'm not going to do that. Thank you, but no.
Uh-uh.
This little birdie decided. I know this dog is probably thinking, I'm going to get in so much trouble, but it is genuinely not the dog's fault. Watch.
I'm just going to scooch in right here if you don't mind.
Oh my God. Look at the dog.
He looks at the camera like,
He's
I did not
I
do
didn't
this.
mean to do it. He just climbed right in here.
Do you want to hear a baby deer?
Yes.
Who doesn't want to hear a baby deer?
There's going to be one incredibly lucky fawn because I don't think he's hurt.
Oh my God.
Calm down, little guy. We'll get you out of there.
Oh my gosh. What a sweetheart.
Isn't it precious?
Oh my gosh. They're so cute.
Oh my God. I love them.
They're just.
And look at how prancy.
They're so prancy. He's so happy.
Deer zoomies are the best, man.
Oh my gosh. He's so happy to be alive. just the sweetest.
Oh my gosh. I just love
Is
them.
that AstroTurf? Like seriously, that backyard is all AstroTurf. Am I wrong about that?
It's probably like Arizona or something where
Who
they
does
don't
that?
actually
Do
have
you guys,
grass.
Does anybody out there have AstroTurf? Like, is their backyard? You can't have animals with that, can you? What is that?
Yeah, you can.
You
My
can?
sister has it for her dogs.
She has AstroTurf for her dogs?
Yeah, there's no grass at
How
her
do you
house.
clean that?
I don't
I'm sorry, it's a
rain,
whole
maybe,
other
like,
conversation. I need
occasionally.
somebody to explain to me how you clean that. Anyway.
Okay, last
amazing.
one for today is the brain of a woman. So this is a husband who is videotaping the thought process of a woman's brain, and I relate to this on so many levels, like the getting distracted by chores and then realizing you really meant to do something else and then getting completely lost in terms of your focus. This is accurate.
I'm overwhelmed.
Why?
Because I'm trying to clean the kitchen because it's a disaster. Cleaning, I realize I'm hungry. So I'm going to make me some carrot juice. Well, start to make my carrot juice. But I can't make my carrot juice because I have no classes that are clean. Well, I'm going to load these in the dishwasher. But when I go to unload the dishwasher, it's clean and full. So now I have to unload it. But then I notice some new clothes that we got for Ember that haven't been put away. So then I go to put them away. And then I realize her room's a disaster. So then I start to clean up some clothes and put them away. In the closet, I realize, oh yeah, their tennis shoes are destroyed and I need to buy new tennis shoes for school that starts on Tuesday. So then I come to the kitchen and I need to make a list. But wait, I have no pen. So then I'm just going to put it in my phone so that I don't
This is so my life. Oh my God.
When I open my phone, I get an email from my management company about a partnership I got to do. Well, in order to record a partnership, I got to put eyelashes on because I don't want to look like a naked mole rat. But wait, I want to shower and I can't shower and get my eyelashes wet.
Naked
so I got to
mole
shower
rat.
first. But I can't shower first because I want to dye my hair.
Babe.
And I can't dye my hair after the shower because then I'm taking 2 showers, one after another.
Hey, how about this? How about I make your carrot juice? You go take a nap.
I can't take a nap. The bed is a disaster. There's clothes on it that need to be put away. It's folded.
Yeah, you got a point there.
I mean, it's so true, right?
I totally feel her. I do. I feel her. This is all of our lives, right?
Yes, it's so easy to get super distracted.
And it's true. Like you add ADHD into that and it's like, forget it. You get nothing done.
It's bad. Shelly, thank you so much. Shelly says, safe travels to you both. Enjoy a treat on me. Looking forward to seeing you together. Thanks for making me smile.
Thank you. That is so sweet. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Oh, you have no idea how much I need this week.
Same.
Mock. Oh, it's going to be so great.
So excited.
So excited.
And
It's
thank
gonna
you
be
to the
fun.
locals folks who have also been tippers today. Thank you so much. I see you
gosh.
guys. I see you.
Thank you. Yes. I hate traveling. I'm not a big fan of air travel anymore. I used to like it and I really despise it now. But, you know, I'm excited to get to my destination and then see Mock and hang out. And it's supposed to be like 100 degrees where we're at.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. It's even going to be 100 here in Indy on Thursday.
Why?
100.
Obviously, it's climate change.
Totally climate change.
Obviously.
I remember 100-degree days back in my childhood in Indiana, but whatever. That's neither here nor there.
Climate change. Totally. Yes.
So again, no show tomorrow. No show tomorrow. But we will be back at the normal time on Wednesday, which is going to be brutal for me because that's a time change.
Are we telling people where we're going to be?
We can. I don't think we have.
Are we doing that when we get there? Are we waiting?
Maybe we can do it when we get there.
Okay. We'll tell you guys where we're going to be when we get there.
Yes.
And that will be on Wednesday, right?
Yes. Wednesday morning.
We'll tell you Wednesday morning where we are. It'll be a big surprise. And then we're going to be in an Airbnb, which will be kind of themed. It's kind of themed.
It is a little themey.
We won't be able to hide it once we're there because you're going to be, see, some people know.
Do they?
We said last week, Elizabeth is saying, yeah.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
Some of you know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She's like, you said last week.
Yeah.
Morons.
Okay. See. Idiots. Yeah.
See, again, it's woman's brain. That's what happens. We have no idea what we've told you last week. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. We don't know. Yeah. Okay. So you guys, are we bringing it in? We're bringing it in. Okay, we're bringing it in. Hey, you getting up? You getting that? Yeah, so we're gonna be in Nashville. We're
Oh,
gonna be in
Mark's
Nashville on
asking
Wednesday,
what
you guys.
time Wednesday night. I don't know. I don't know what
guys-
time the debate starts, but we're going to tailgate probably at least a half an hour, probably well in advance of a half hour before that.
Oh, probably an hour,
So-
probably a half hour to an hour. We're gonna tailgate before.
Yeah.
And then we will tell you on Wednesday mornings. We're gonna be doing a show Wednesday morning. We'll give you all the deets on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll
morning,
know
too.
by then what we're doing.
Totally. Yeah, we'll give you everything that you need to know. But hey, can you come here? and
Yeah.
say hello to
C Noon
everybody?
says
Come here.
flaps in all caps, and I
Flaps.
agree with her.
You need flaps. You gonna flap? You gotta flap. there they are. You guys get the flaps. There you go. There it was. I mean, I blew right on his face. I blew right on his face. There you
That
go.
was a
Such a
good
good boy. Those are some
one.
flaps to hold you over until next week, because you're not going to be able to see him until Friday. You'll see him. No, you won't
No.
see him until next week, you guys, because I'll be traveling on Friday.
No, we're gonna have to like come up with a replacement flap of some
Mock will
sort.
flap. She'll flap her braids. I'll make her flap her braids.
Can I do that? Does that work?
Yes, totally. Totally.
And there's going to be a lot of braids probably, because I have no intention of showering in the morning when we are getting up that early, especially on Thursday. Oh, that's going to be a brutal morning.
She's not going to be used to the time change. Yeah. So
Now, you guys remember, because I just saw somebody, no Fox ratings, say no Fox ratings. So here's the deal. Like, you know how we told you about how Fox is being so ridiculous and not letting us show clips, not letting us air anything, like being super, tight to the vest about their own coverage of this. But since we can't show anything, we're going to rely on you all to watch at the same time as we are, because then otherwise, how will you know what's going on? You know what I mean?
We may do some reenactments.
We should. We'll do skits.
She can play the role of Ron DeSantis, and I'll play the role of Vivek Ramaswamy. We're gonna do some reenactments, because I don't know how else we're gonna do this, you guys.
I know.
I can also do a really good Trump. So we may just have to do double duty. I don't know how. We're just gonna figure out how to do this. Now that I think that the Tucker stuff too is also copyrighted. So everything is copyrighted now. Everything is off limits. They are just being so communist about everything now.
Somebody said audio in the background. I mean, we'll be able to hear it, but we're purposefully not going to have it be loud enough that we could get into trouble for having it be in the background. So everybody's out for themselves, and we're just going to be watching together and commentating together. And that's that. Yeah. Who's going to do the Tucker laugh? I can't do it. I can't do it like Tucker can, man. Nobody can.
That was fantastic. Yes. So it'll be her. Obviously, it's going to be her.
Too bad Bernie's not somehow part of this debate.
I know.
What do you got? Because then it would be, that'd be a show, man.
Yeah. And then I'll work on my Eminem rap so I can do some Vivek. We'll totally work on that, you guys. So, okay, we will talk to you Wednesday morning. You guys have a fantastic day today, a great day tomorrow. And then get ready, because Wednesday.
One more thing. I'm sorry.
What?
Well, I was just going to say that if you're an insider and or supporter on Locals, you might get some exclusive video content tomorrow.
You will,
because we're going to be together, and it's going to be hard for us to resist.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're going to get some exclusive content probably all week.
So if you're not an insider supporter, sign up, because then you'll get to participate.
And a lot of it will probably be inappropriate. So just get ready for that. Yeah. All right. Okay, you guys. We'll talk to you on Wednesday. Bye. Bye, everyone.